And we are live. Good evening and welcome everyone that's tuning in to Stories of Healing. This is the Stories of Healing podcast. This is a special day. It's a launch, our first episode. And just a little brief overview. The focus of the podcast, Stories of Healing, is to share a story and dive into the healing process within that challenging time in life. The story can be about pain, struggle, anxiety, depression, a heartbreak, loss of employment, trauma, or any specific challenge that brought a tough experience to overcome. Stories of Healing is here to inspire, motivate, help others lift and rise up through their past or present struggles by listening in and connecting with that special guest who tunes in to sharing their story of healing and how they overcome their battles. What was their healing process? So welcome to today, everyone. Welcome. Today's special guest is Carleton University Raven football alumni, CFL REDBLACKS defensive back, Mr. Nathaniel AIRNATE Hamlin. How you doing, man? What's up?
I'm good, brother. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm very I just want to say I'm very grateful and thankful to have you on this launch of this special podcast. I believe that doing these kind of things in the community, in the world right now is important. And, not just music helps people rise up, but I think sharing stories and I think connecting and, sometimes being vulnerable in what we went through and helping others rise through those emotions and feelings can really, really lift spirits and bring some healing. So thank you. God bless, man. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Tell us a little about yourself. Where are you from?
From Ottawa, born and raised, South End. Went to Carleton, as you said, and it's hometown.
Nice, man.
Hometown.
Yeah, Ottawa's beautiful. I'm from Thunder Bay, like northwestern Ontario area,
Yeah.
and I love Ottawa, man. It's got trees, water still, and mountains.
Beautiful.
You get that little big city feel, not too overwhelming.
I love it. I love being here.
Cool, man. Cool. And I just want to, I guess, tell the story of how we even met. During the beginning of everything that happened, and what's going on in our world. We met during, let's say spring, midsummer, and I was on my way home from work biking, and all the gyms were shut down, and so I was like, I got to find a way to continue to stay healthy and work out and stay balanced. So I'm doing some pull-ups and I'm working out, and I look over and I see you. You got your gear on, and I'm like, yo, this guy definitely plays for the REDBLACKS.
Yeah.
I was like, so I introduced myself, and it was cool. I just like to connect with like-minded individuals who take care of their health, and who focus on being outside, and you can tell you're just determined, focused to take care of yourself. And it's cool too, just to hear your story. So welcome. I really appreciate this.
Thank you.
And I think our world does too.
Oh yeah.
All right. So I guess we'll start off. I got 7 questions, and we'll just go with the flow. It's kind of how I figured I'd lay out our live Stories of Healing podcast. So to start off, what is your story which brought you a life challenge, whether it's your past or the current challenge that you're facing?
So I was gonna go with I guess it's a very important, close, challenge, that I've been, I guess, facing for the past year or two. So basically playing football, growing up, loving football, loving the game of football, wanting to go pro one day, finally making it a great, dream come true. But as a pro athlete, you always want to stay in the game. You always want to, you want to be able to play as long as you possibly can. And I guess one thing that I battled with was being cut when I played in BC. I was playing for the BC Lions, and my third camp, going in my third season, got cut at the end of camp. It was a year that I wanted to, very prove myself, show a lot, prove that I have more than, a lot of other players, prove to coaches, prove to players, prove to myself, that I can hang out here, do even more than just hang out here, So getting cut at the end of that season was very detrimental to me. I felt, you really take, it's really, negative. There's a lot of negative energy that comes from, you know, getting cut from team. You lost your job at the same time. Something that you kind of relying on, but also, it's it's um it's something that you've just been doing, something that you have plans to do. So it was for me, it was just really something that was really tough to go through. Um, and then I ended up spending most of the summer looking for a new team, looking for a new job. My agent was contacting around. I had talked to a few teams, I guess here and there throughout the off season, or throughout the season, and I was close to being picked up a few times. So there was that I guess belief that it's soon, my chance would come soon. But at the same time, you're still kind of lingering around, right? Because you haven't been selected by anybody, nobody's picked you up. So at the same time, you're still, you know, battling with hearing from people, but not being, wanted at the same time. So that was something for me that it burned a lot of fire inside of me, but also a lot of negativity inside of me
Mm.
because, you know, just as something I've kind of set my eyes on, something I've set my goal on, my focus on, kind of work towards and given all effort to it. It's just something that's, it means a lot to me. It means a lot um, to my life and what I do. And, really big, just a really big setback, I guess. Also being a younger guy, kind of focused on, trying to be here long, have longevity, also being effective at the same time, trying to learn and get better and be around guys that, are also playing and can get you better. And, you can learn off different guys that are from different areas, different colleges,
Hmm.
different pro teams, just being in the atmosphere basically. Um, is just, it's something that it's just really important to me. So yeah, that was just a huge setback. And the COVID thing definitely did not help because eventually I was able to get selected up by the Red Blacks in the last 3 weeks of the season.
Hmm.
So that I guess was the new start, the get called back to play in your own city. It means a lot more almost because I grew up watching Ottawa play, and as a young guy watching the games, like you're only dreaming to be one of these guys one day and to,
Hmm.
be able to go back to TD Place. And, I think was able to watch one home game before the season ended. Um, and, it was great. Like, I love being there. I love the field, love the atmosphere. And, you know, uh, it's just something that now it means a lot more to me. So, yeah.
Thanks for sharing that, man. And we can tell that like something like that really resonates and does affect our energy, especially being an athlete and having that dream. So, the ones listening in who want to be, pro athletes or current athletes looking to chase their dreams, that's the reality is sometimes
Mhm.
these things you get hit hard. And,
Oh, for sure.
and there are ways of how we can get through that. And especially as an athlete too, and what steps you can take to try to still get to where you want to be and reach that ladder at the top of the mountain. But, you got to overcome all these challenges for sure.
Exactly.
Um, yeah, going into that, I guess in question two here. So how do you feel like, how did you feel mostly in terms of like emotions, like, during that time and that struggle, like when you really realized when you're doing that transition from not making it there and
Yeah. Um, well, in that
like over.
time, like there was definitely a lot of negative thoughts, a lot of honestly, like, I'd watch the games and stuff like that too. And, sometimes I guess there'd be negativity arising watching games, and, knowing that you could definitely be there. But, you're watching you guys and guys that, like your peers and stuff too. So it's just, you're not out there with them or playing against them. And, it's just, you got a lot of negative buildup inside. And fortunate for me, like I I didn't get to the point where I was feeling too low, but some days were better than others, and
Mhm.
yeah, so just just a lot of negativity and stuff like that that could come about, and just thoughts and maybe talking and stuff like that. So
Right. Okay. Like just trying to think, like when you get those negative thoughts and you're feeling like really low,
mhm.
what did you do to keep yourself healthy? Like what did you do to try to get your mind in a positive place? Is there anything,
um yeah
whether fitness, music, meditation, maybe it's like
yeah,
being alone, or
exactly.
maybe it's close to family.
I'd say yeah, probably all of those things. A lot of them go hand in hand. Gym is obviously therapy on its own, and
Mm-hmm.
you gotta have music when you go to the gym. So that's just a total, for us people that like fitness and stuff like that, that's total relaxation almost for us.
Yeah, of
But
course.
and it's
Nice.
different focus, different zone. So being able to like take the negativity sometimes, when you get too negative or something like that, like, okay, so what are you gonna do about it, right? Like, you're negative, what are you gonna do with that? You gotta go outside, you gotta go work on your skills, you gotta go to the gym, you gotta, just do things that um that are going to contribute to the reason, why you might have gotten cut or something like that. Or you gotta be able to, rebound, bounce back, use methods, um and just, focus on, other things, like watching other guys play, and actually learning from it, watching guys like in the NFL, watching all types of football, watching, all types of, different even type of sports, guys that you can learn from, in other pro sports, because everybody's kind of, they're all doing something different these days. They're all working hard in their own way and figuring out different techniques and stuff like that. So, you just gotta, instead of being negative, you gotta be able to learn from what's around you, all your resources and stuff like that. So that's definitely something that I, engaged in doing, especially towards, I guess, more of the ending of before being selected up again, because obviously I went through the initial period with probably a little bit more negativity, maybe a little bit more optimistic at the start of the season, but the negativity maybe towards the middle of the season, where my optimism was, toward at the start of the season, I guess, because of the timing in the season and how many games are on schedule. At the start of the season, you're kind of optimistic because guys are being cut from teams, but then other teams are also looking for other players in specific areas, and stuff like that. So you have optimism, but I guess after 5 6 weeks of not being selected, you kind of get into that negative area
Mm-hmm.
in waiting, I guess. And then as time goes on, you can't really do much but wait and just prepare yourself. So,
Mm-hmm.
that's all you got to do. You got to always be ready for the call. And I'd say, towards the ending of almost like where I was selected, so it was about maybe November last year, or was it last year? Yeah, last year. November
Mm-hmm.
last year, October, November last year, I believe. Um, I'll be honest, like a month before that, I guess a lot more optimism as well. I was getting a few more calls too, but the optimism in being selected, teams going to the playoffs, maybe, just a little bit more optimistic, excited maybe about a call or a chance or something like that. And it happened, so grateful for that.
Yeah, man. That's
Hmm.
awesome. It's nice because like sometimes when we go through those challenges and those struggles, and we get hit with all these different ways, whether it's a physical, spiritual, mental, and emotional challenge in our life, when we find that certain alternative, or that way of channeling those energies, like going to the gym, you said, and
Hmm.
staying grounded, and just doing what you need to do to take care of yourself, you can overcome those challenges and come up on top, and something good came out of that. Like you still were blessed with an opportunity,
Exactly.
which is amazing. um During this time, I know it's an interesting question. Thought I'd just add it in because sometimes it's something, you know, that people can get caught up in. But was there anything or anyone that you try to avoid during that time, like any like bad influences, you know, that you may have thought of to get into, or maybe it was like you know, the wrong crowd of things, or just like anything
Mm.
you avoided, maybe like you know, negative things on the news, television. It could be like, you know, music that's not the most
Yeah,
positive thing, like, you know, things that kind of like almost like a, I guess, factors that try to, like, you know, take you down even more. But you were like, you
yeah,
know what,
yeah,
I'm gonna avoid this. Make bad eating instance. You know, sometimes people when they get emotional or you know, those negative thoughts and those feelings, like sometimes as humans we sometimes do things that resort to, like, you know, maybe it's emotional eating, could be stress eating, could be not eating, could
yeah.
be maybe it's overworking, working
True.
out, those biceps pop, like, you never know.
That's true. That's
um
true.
yeah, man. So was there anything that you like during that time that you felt was like kind of like an influence in a way, and you're like, I gotta avoid this, I gotta like keep my head focused and clear?
Um, I'd say, I guess, not really avoiding things maybe, but definitely, yeah. I'd say trying to stay away from maybe more negativity and stuff like that too. I don't know if the time period, because you talked about I guess music, you know, staying away from negativity in music and stuff like that. And, you know, in
Mm-hmm.
music today, there's obviously a lot of, you know, negativity that kind of is, you know, it's meaningless negativity that doesn't really, you know, benefit anyone's life in
Mm-hmm.
any way.
Just a
I wouldn't
catchy beat.
say, I wouldn't say that, I guess, during that period of time before I was, you know, selected again, I would have changed my music. But more recently, like I'd say like for the let's say for like COVID, during the COVID break, you know what I mean? Because there was a lot of time when you know, there was really nothing to do. You know, you're watching YouTube on YouTube videos and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just on your phone, checking stuff out, you know, checking out new artists and whatnot. So I'd say during this COVID period, I've definitely been, you know, opening myself up to like new types of music, new you know, vibes, new melodies and whatnot. You
Music that
know,
makes maybe brings some healing.
exactly, some feeling, some more feeling to the music.
Mhm.
Stuff like that, you know. I'd say sometimes, you know, I do definitely turn off the negative music and just, you know, listen to something else, because sometimes it's a lot, you know, it's too much, you know. And I feel like I don't know if, you know, other people feel like this sometimes, but sometimes you just gotta, you know, turn it off for a little bit and listen to something else, you know.
Mm.
So yeah, definitely yeah, I'd say definitely staying away from some of that. I did. Um, you know, maybe staying away from, you know, media as much. You know, I'd say sometimes, like I was talking about the games I was watching, sometimes I knew that I was like, okay, I'm not gonna watch the game today. I'm not feeling, you know, like I want more negativity to build on this, how I'm already feeling in this mood or something like that. Or, you know, so maybe I wouldn't watch the game that day or something like that. Or,
Mm-hmm.
you know, yeah. But as avoiding, like as a avoiding, like I would say, sometimes you can't really avoid things. You gotta almost just go right into it and just embrace, you know, what's happening and stuff like that.
Right.
So I'd say I did more embracing of what my current situation was at the time. You know, more like I guess you could say, you know, some soul searching here and there, some, you know, just trying to figure some stuff out. Trying to figure yourself out in situations, you know, because sometimes, you know, you can't make understanding in the world all the time, and, you know, whose decision is what, and all these, you know, outliers in the universe, and who's making what decisions and all that for you and whatnot. So, you know, you got to focus on yourself, and you got to focus on what's good for you.
Mm.
So, you know, being able to embrace it and kind of, you know, look right into it, I'd say is probably, you know, the best way to do things sometimes, because you can't go around it, you can't avoid it, you can't, you know, you can't you can't just try to stay away from things. You gotta go right into, you gotta fix what broke you, or fix what you're weak at, or something like that, right? So
For sure. I like that you like elaborate on that. It's like when we get hit with challenges and struggles, it's sometimes like there's we get almost forced sometimes to avoid things, but when you actually
hmm
embrace it and accept it and hold on to those emotions and those feelings and those obstacles, and then just like take it and react and then let go and move forward, like those experiences create like a better us. We heal stronger, we develop stronger and get better in that, whether it's a profession, hobby, or just a life skill. And I like that
hmm
you elaborate on that. I think people tuning in and listening can really like appreciate that, embracing what we're going through, especially what we're going through right
hmm
now. Like that's all we could do is
exactly.
embrace and try to keep ourselves balanced and learn how we can push forward.
hmm
So thank you for that. I appreciate that. That was awesome. Uh, what was the hardest thing to let go of? Like, is there anything that you had to let go of when things didn't, when that transition happened, when you didn't get what you wanted to get there and it hit you so hard? Is there something that you like had to let go?
um
Like, is it like the hustle towards still trying to get there, or?
uh I don't really think that I really let go of anything. I think if anything, maybe I might have felt something even more.
Mm,
I'm not really, I guess, like till like I don't really think I let go of anything around, football or in myself.
mm,
But just touching on the point before, yeah, just going right at it. You couldn't really nothing to avoid really. You gotta, yeah.
no,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I appreciate that. Cool. Yeah, moving on to the next one. So how did you overcome it? You kind of elaborate a little bit on the fitness and the gym. But if you can think of like, let's say like three things, what are three like pillars or three um steps that you took that really overcame that pain?
I'd say first you gotta readjust your mindset. You gotta be able
Nice.
to think positively on the situation. Um, because at the same time, and I know probably a lot of other athletes go through it, it's once you get to that period, I guess, you might think that it could be the end of the road at any time.
Mm,
So you gotta think positively at that point. Um, you know, be able to embrace it, focus on it, but also be able to take your mind off things at the same time. Um, uh, yeah, you just got to yeah, that's it.
nice,
Yeah.
man. No, that's good. That's
So
good.
yeah, but
Sim-
to like overcome. So um, I was also, I guess, what's it called? I was, I guess, doing a lot of more outdoors things too. Also,
mm,
I'd say, trying to just get with nature as well
nice.
is a
Yeah,
good
like
is a good one.
connecting with the like spiritual side, and connecting to the
Exactly.
land and our
Yeah,
roots, our
you got to
grassroots.
touch back. Exactly.
Yeah, I find when we connect to the earth and in our mother earth in a way when we're going through things, it brings a lot of healing. It really does.
hmm hmm
Rather than being stuck inside and cooped up, or rather than
Exactly.
focusing on like not what's out there. Like we need that oxygen, we need those trees, we need the water, we need the wind. We need the
hmm
feel of the earth
All of it.
underneath our
All of
feet.
it. Exactly.
That's awesome,
Human
man.
beings.
Yeah, man.
Human beings. You got to be
Um,
human.
cool. So I guess for our last question here, like during that time with like, a little bit of that, I guess you can say not accepted or rejected in a way, but still transitioning and getting that opportunity. Like, if so, would you do anything differently to overcome how you did what you did to where you are now? Is there
Yeah.
any,
To overcome. Okay.
or anything you would have
Well,
done
I
differently,
guess
even?
I guess I would have. You can't really. You still. In a. I guess in a tough spot, but you gotta. All you can really say is, I guess you just gotta do better. You gotta try harder. You gotta. put more focus into things. You gotta, make sure that it's very important to you, and that you're, doing it for the right reasons.
Mm,
You got to, just keep grinding. You got to keep going. You can't take your foot off the pedal ever. You just got to take in, coaching points. You got to take in almost everything that you've learned. Try to discard the things that are not going to work. Get the things in that are going to work. Yeah, you just gotta keep going. That's all it is. There's no room for a little let back or a little step back or a little doubt in the back of your mind. You can't just give up on life. You can't just give up on what you're doing. You can't just give up on your dream if it is your dream. So you
mm.
gotta really, you gotta full throttle into it. You know,
Yeah,
can't
man, I
stop.
like
Yeah,
that.
that's what it is.
That's what it is. You got to full
That's all
throttle.
it
We got to
is.
push
Yeah,
through, and
push through.
I love that. I love and that you're sharing this story, because not just even as an athlete, but like a lot of the things that you just shared, is just being human too,
Hmm.
just being human in
Exactly.
your regular day, like your daily
Hmm.
life, your daily struggle, like,
Hmm.
we're getting hit with something in our profession and something you focus on and you work hard every day since you're a child, and you have those dreams, and
Exactly.
it's amazing that you still have this opportunity to still harness like that dream in some sort of way.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
once things like get slowed down, hopefully, pray that we get some healing in this world and they get rid of all this stuff that's happening in our environments so we can get back to some CFL football. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, let's get
Exactly.
back in there because
Get some
it's
entertainment.
that's what I'm saying. We need that Canadian football. We need that back. And
Exactly.
I just want to say, thank you for sharing your story today. Thank you for
Oh yeah,
coming
it's
on the
great to be
show.
here, man. Hmm.
This is the first episode
That's
of
right.
the Stories of Healing podcast. We launched today, and it was amazing and a great opportunity to be able to even meet you, just working out outside at Mooney's Bay there in Ottawa. And
Hmm. Yeah.
now only how many months later, I feel that everything happens for a reason. And yeah, I think you're gonna continue to do good things and keep focusing on your dream, man. And for anyone that's listening out there and
Appreciate you.
tuning in, yeah, of course, man, I got you. And
Hmm.
if everyone
Hmm.
that's listening and tuning in, live stream now, or we'll see the recap video, please go to Instagram. You can follow Mr. Nathaniel AirNate Hamlin at symbol AirNate. He's got a cool page here. I'm looking at it right now. Very awesome fellow here. You got all the football. You're outside. You're with your homies. Like it's a very
Yeah, go check
inspiring and
it out.
positive. It's a very go check it out. Go follow him. Send him a message if you like this live stream. Reach out to him if you're an athlete, if you're
Oh
a
yeah,
younger athlete, and you want
exactly.
some questions regarding how to get through some some challenges in the sporting industry, whether it's fitness related things with football drills, maybe it's like mental skills, maybe it's something that
Hmm.
just the things that you just shared. How can you
Yeah,
help
yeah. Hit
younger
me up,
athletes
young guys.
chase their
Hit me up.
dreams? So
Yes, sir. I
young
have a
guns,
few. I
hit
have
hit
two
up.
guys hit me up. So yeah, man, just reach out, hit me up,
Good, good,
and
good.
respond. Yeah, let you know.
All right, all right. Well, let's I'm gonna say thank you. And for everyone listening in, this is the hashtag Stories of Healing podcast. It's gonna be aired every Wednesday evening between 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Unless otherwise, we had to do a little reflexing tonight just because of the technical errors, but it's all good. Everything's good. We did it. And
Worked out.
thank you, AirNate, man. Thank you so much. And
Yeah, thank you,
until
man.
next time, let's get it.
Yeah.